morning, everybody, and happy Monday. This is Nicole Miller on 1490 WDAN Newsmakers, and I hope everyone had a lovely weekend and survived.
And Nicole has managed to make it in, so there you go.
So, yeah, it was a great weekend to be in Danville. But today we're moving on because there's more great, it's not over. There's still a ton of stuff coming up, including a Pop Goes the Culture variety show with Jake Aurelian, who's here today. Good morning.
Jake's not here.
Oh,
I see Ripper. I see
forgot.
Ripper the clown.
Ripper's here. Ripper's in the building. Jake is gone.
Yes, I don't know. He left a few minutes ago. I don't know where he went. He's out of the car or something.
He's absolutely gone.
Yes.
Yeah, so upcoming, we've got a really great show coming.
Yes, we are back with
Pop Goes the Culture variety show at Vintage Villains.
on October 8th. That's right. We're returning to Vintage Villains after a few months hiatus for the Pop Goes the Culture variety show. Normally we do comedy shows. This encompasses musicians, singers, and comedians. We've got 20 performers lined up. It's 20.
Wow.
20. $8 in advance, 10 at the door. And you, yes you, and I'm pointing, but you can't see me because this is radio, but you, the audience in attendance that night, you will be judge, jury, and executioner. You will be able to boot performers from stage if you don't like them, and you will pick the overall winners at the end of the night.
That's great.
Totally interactive.
I love that.
Yes.
I can't, 20, okay, so if you have 20 performers, how long is this show?
It'll be about 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, each performer is going to have 4 minutes.
Very cool.
So if they survive that 4 minutes,
right,
then at the end of the night, the audience will be able to pick overall winners. They'll be put in that pool. Now, at the last one, last June, the audience booted, I think, the first half. They booted the majority of the people from the first half of the show. It was pretty brutal.
That's intense.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. So, so I love that, though. It's audience interactive, and you know, you get people that come to shows and they want to interact, but it's not appropriate to do that at a comedy show because you just look bad, and
right,
you know, and it makes, you know, the comedians feel uncomfortable and it ruins their set. But this is an opportunity for people to come and, in a small way, interact. You'll get to come up and you'll get to boot a performer if you don't like them, and
you get to really give your opinion. I guess as a performer, I guess the performer would kind of come in, kind of ready for that, I guess.
Yes. You have to be prepared.
Yes, for sure.
And we have an amazing roster. I'll list a few of the names right now. Nicole Miller.
Wait, what?
Oh, I'm sorry. No. Nicole Mitchell.
Wait a minute.
Sorry.
I'm definitely going to get booed off the stage because I am not prepared.
I knew I was going to do that. I knew I was going to say Nicole Miller instead of Nicole Mitchell. Nicole Mitchell. She actually retired from the comedy scene a few years ago, and leave it to Ripper the Clown to pull somebody back in, and she's going to be there. First comedy set in a good number of years. Albert King and Nigh, he's going to be doing ventriloquism. That's kind of a rare performance.
Yeah.
And I've seen a couple little glimpses of his act. It's really awesome. And he's debuting. Cool. Sara Ortiz, rude as can be, Donnie Farrell, Aaron Martin, Sean Hosseini, Vinny Santinelli, Pamela Adam, Andrew Hicks, he's the head of Soapbox Comedy over in Champaign. And we've got the Lord of the Strings, Nico Davis, and it's going to be farewell show for comedian Alan Lewis, who is taking a job out of state. He's leaving. This is his farewell show. So, you know, come on out with us and enjoy all these performances and wish Alan well in his future endeavors.
Absolutely. He's hysterical.
He is. He's amazing.
I really enjoy his sense of humor is just kind of unlike anybody else I've ever heard before. And he has a video cast on
podcast.
That he puts on YouTube.
Yes, analytical.
Yes. And he's hysterical.
Yeah.
So I'm very sad that he'll be leaving us.
I know. And I'm sure he will too. You know, he mentioned it's his last show. I'm like, no, because I want you back. Right. You have to come back. So we can't say last show. It's going to be farewell show.
Absolutely.
And you know, I want to mention some of our sponsors. We got Barber Shop in Westville is our main sponsor. Joe Phelps, he's been with us for the last 4 shows. He's an amazing sponsor. And we're also sponsored by our friends over at the Gold Rush Pawnbrokers, Westville Car Wash, our friends down at RP Lumber in Westville, Gross Burger, Sunburst Tans in Westville and Danville, Cafe 13, downtown Danville. I've seen you there many times.
Yes.
And Kenny's Fitness Zone, they're open 24/7. And all these fine sponsors have provided prizes that will be awarded at the end of the night to the top winners.
Cool.
Yes.
Very, very cool. Well, we are going to take a quick break. We will be right back with Ripper the Clown. This is Nicole Miller on Newsmakers. Well, welcome back, everybody. This is Nicole Miller on 1490 WDAN Newsmakers, and I am here today with Ripper the Clown.
Hello, thanks for having me.
And he is here because there's a variety show coming up.
Yes, that's right.
October 8th.
Yes, Pop Goes Culture variety show over at Vintage Villains on October 8th. And we're going to have 20 performers, 4 minutes each, and the audience can boot performers if they don't like them.
I am, the interactive shows, I like that. I like that. I think it's really cool. I don't know about being the performer and getting booted off the stage. I mean, might be kind of awkward.
Yeah, but I think everyone who comes into the show, they know what that risk is.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. So how do they get booted off the stage? What does the audience have to do to boot them off the stage?
Well, I'll tell you, but I've been wanting to ask you a question for a couple of minutes. Would you like to come and sit on Ripper's lap for a minute?
Ripper the Clown, we are on the radio.
No, come on, sit on my
I'm
lap.
not going to sit on your lap.
Come on, Nicole, come on, sit on my lap. Come on.
I've never sat on a clown's lap before.
Come on.
I don't think so.
Come on, just for me, will ya?
I don't think so, Ripper. I think we'll stick to how we're gonna boot people off the stage. Okay, fine,
Okay.
fine. I'll sit on your lap.
Okay, come on over here.
Okay.
Oh, Nicole, get off! You sat on my horn. You sat on my horn. And speaking of Ripper's honky horn, on October 8th at Vintage Villains, that is how the audience can boot performers from stage. If they don't like somebody, if 3 audience members come up and honk the horn, the performer is gone.
That's how they. Okay, so they walk up to the stage and sit on your lap to boot them off.
No. They grab Ripper's honky horn.
That's great.
But that's an idea. I
So
can
it's
think
like
about
the
that.
Gong Show,
A variation, yes.
but it's the horn instead.
Yes,
That's great.
yes. And every clown has a horn, right?
Every clown has
Yes.
a horn. That must be a clown staple, like
It is.
like the big red nose and the honky nose.
Yep. So,
Oh man.
yes.
So this show again, remind people when it is. It's October 8th.
October 8th at Vintage Villains, and it's $8 in advance, 10 at the door, and we've got 20 performers, all amazing performers, straight across the board. A few debuts, but these are people who have, performed in other aspects and other venues as well, so it's really cool for me to give people an opportunity to debut a new act or debut something new, reinvent themselves, or redefine themselves on this stage at my show. That's really important for me.
Absolutely.
And so here, I'll give you a few more of the names. Dustin Danger from the Villains.
Who is a very dear friend of mine, and I'm always excited to see him perform.
He's amazing. The Villains are amazing. Mr. Jason and
Mr.
Dustin
Jason,
Danger.
yes.
Dustin Danger, 2 of my favorites. I love to introduce them. I give them a special introduction every single time. I will not do that introduction for anyone else.
Perfect.
Brett Andrews will be there.
He's also a good
he
friend
is.
of mine. Really
He
good
is.
guy.
He's going to be, I believe, playing the piano, from what I've been told. But it's hard for me to say because sometimes people change what they're going to
Sure.
do. But Bella Cooper will be there. Reese Sneakum from the Dystopians.
Also amazing.
Yes.
Love those kids.
Comedian Larry Smith, Michael Williamson, Chris Dungeon. I believe he's going to be debuting comedy. That's what I've been told.
Wow.
Jimbei Jake Dungeon.
Yes.
Elizabeth Staggs, Heroine. And again, it's going to be the farewell show for comedian Alan Lewis.
Which we are very sad
Yes,
about, but
yes.
he will be back.
Yes, he will be.
Okay, well, we're going to take another quick break. We will be right back. This is Nicole Miller on Newsmakers. Welcome back, everybody. This is Nicole Miller on 1490 WDAN Newsmakers, and I am here with Ripper the Clown.
Thank you again for having me on.
Yes, and one of my favorite people to do an interview with, I tell you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
That made my morning.
Always a good time.
My white cheeks are rosy now.
Right? He's here because there's an upcoming variety show at Vintage Villains on October the 8th.
That's right.
Pop goes the culture variety show at Vintage Villains.
We return to Vintage Villains on October 8th. We've got 20 performers. It's going to be an amazing show, totally audience interactive.
Yes, 20 performers.
20 performers. I'll go through the list real quick.
Yes.
Nicole Mitchell, got that right this
Not
time.
Miller,
You are not here.
me. I am not a comedian.
Yes. Albert King and Ivarius Hart, Sara Ortiz, Rude as Can Be, Donnie Farrell, Aaron Martin, Sean Husseini, Vinnie Santinelli, Pamela Adam, Andrew Hicks, Soapbox Comedy over in Champaign, Lord of the Strings, Nico Davis, Dustin Danger from the Villains, Brett Andrews, Bella Cooper, Reese Neekum from the Dystopians, Larry Smith, Michael Williamson, Chris Dungeon, Jimbei Jake, Elizabeth Staggs, Heroine, and the farewell show for comedian Alan Lewis.
Yes, it's quite a great lineup. I've got a lot of friends in there. That's going to be a really good time. And the fact that the audience has some control, because if you don't like them,
Yes.
what do you have to do again? That's all you gotta do. You honk the horn and get rid of them.
Come up and honk Ripper's horn. And at the last show, I was kind of worried that people might be shy to
Right.
do this. And on that show, it was actually Jimbei Jake was my co-host. So instead of Ripper's horn, they hit Jimbei's drum.
Oh,
Bam.
nice.
And so I was kind of worried that people would be shy.
Right.
And then the first performer went up and he got booted, and the second one got booted, and it was like, wow, these people are not shy at all. In fact,
Right.
I think they're kind of they're having fun.
Right. You get a couple beers in them, and
Yes.
it's like, forget it.
Yes. But I have to mention we have some amazing sponsors for this show. Barber Shop in Westville is our main sponsor. Joe Phelps, great guy. I just talked to somebody who told me they drive all the way from Champaign to get their haircut
Wow.
at the Barber Shop in Westville. So
Very
that's a
cool.
really testament to Joe and his staff there. And we're also sponsored by Derek Sanders at the Carmack Car Capital, the Heartland Fair Encore Shop, Lincoln Lanes, children's books by Marianne Leposki-Budicus. I'm sorry, Budicus. Marianne Leposki-Budicus. I can never pronounce her name. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken and Jocko's, and all of these fine sponsors have provided prizes that will be given to the top 4 winners at the end of the night.
Very cool. So is it like first through fourth place, or is it just...
So we'll have four places.
Okay,
Yes,
all
yes.
right.
And last time we had a tie for fourth place, and one of those performers, Pamela Adams, she'll be on the show. She's the only returning champion from the last show that will be on this one.
She is also hysterical.
She is.
I've seen her on stage several times. I've actually worked with her in theater quite a bit. So
Yeah, and that's why I can't really comment. People say, what's so-and-so doing? And I can give a general idea, but I thought Pamela was going to come up and sing.
Right.
And she came up and she did comedy, and then she sang,
Yes.
and then I ended up having her on a comedy show after that point because she was so amazing.
Yes.
So it's hard for me because, somebody may come up there and decide last minute they're going to do something else.
Right.
And, I just want to praise all the diversity of these acts. We have just an amazing roster for this show.
Absolutely.
And I also want to praise Vintage Villains because that place is one of my most favorite places to go in this world as a
Yeah.
customer or a performer or a host.
Sure.
I mean, you've been in Vintage Villains many times.
Yes.
If you have not seen that store, you need to
you
go
can
in there.
definitely check it out. It's a nice little gem for Danville.
It is, and it's like everywhere you look, it's a sensory overload of nostalgia.
Yes.
Every place your eyes go. And then on the opposite side of the store, they have the venue, and they
Right.
have the bar in there, and then they have all the old coin-op games and
Yes.
pinball games. You can play all the games for free during the show. It's just I don't think there's anything like this anywhere else. And
Yeah.
I keep hearing from them that these national acts come through, and the national acts are like, this is the best venue we've ever been to.
Right.
So, if you have not been to the Vintage Villains or the Vintage Villains venue, October 8th is the perfect night to come.
Absolutely. And what time is that show that night?
Doors open at 7, show at 8.
I have to jump in here because that's a place to play pinball.
It is.
Let's
It is.
You can't
Yeah.
find
Pinball's
pinball
on.
anywhere.
No. No.
I never was very good at pinball, but I loved playing pinball. And you can actually, you don't have to have a whole pile of quarters to do it either.
I know.
It's free.
Yeah, I was at a place the other day, and I walked. They had a little arcade, and it was like 75 cents for a pinball game. I was like, whoa!
Whoa.
I'm like, I could play at Villains for free.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, those things. We should take off. Get $10 worth of 50 for $5 tokens and play that stuff. Yeah, I was of the original video game.
Right.
Okay. Pong. I played console Pong. Okay. So
I had an Atari when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And that was, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just nice to have a place where you can, hang out and relive how bad you really were.
Right.
Yeah, and Villains, they have all the old consoles. I mean,
Right.
you can go in
Yep.
there and buy adapters even to play your Atari on
Sure.
on a modern television set.
Right.
But it's really cool to be able to go into the venue and to hear all those games. It's
Yeah.
just kind of just the sounds. It makes you feel like you're back in a different era in an old
Very
arcade.
nostalgic.
Yes.
And also, like, the variety of acts that they bring into their venue.
Oh yeah.
You can go see comedy there. There's bands. They do a lot of different things.
They do, and it's just I can't thank Chris and Troy and the entire staff at Villains enough for making me a part of their venue as they had. It means a lot to me, and all those guys there are dear friends of mine.
Sure, and you can check them out on October 8th at this variety show.
Absolutely.
I have a question for you about
Yes.
the show. How often do you plan to do this? Is this going to be a yearly, quarterly?
We haven't done one in a year.
Yeah.
So
Does that take that long for everybody to recover after being booed off the
Being booted
stage?
off stage. You know, I just a lot of. I want to do. I started doing the comedy series again, and my plan was to do one earlier this summer, a variety show, but that didn't work out for me personally because I had a lot going on. You know, it's busy to be a clown,
Right.
and a clown that's in demand. You know,
Yeah.
It's busy.
Especially in this election year.
Exactly. So, you know, I decided to do it for, you know, for the fall, and who knows? I was thinking about maybe doing it twice a year after this point. If, you know, we'll see how this show goes, and we'll decide from there.
Yeah.
But you know, the last one sold out. It was standing room only. It was amazing, and we had Art Beat going on right down the street. It was the main night for Art Beat. And we had a lot of great performers down there, and I was kind of worried that, you know, that would, you know, overtake us, so to speak.
Sure.
But the night of the show, it was amazing crowd. Again, it was standing room only. So
Yeah, but yet the thing that I would think would be the problem would be having the cannon fodder. after
You know what?
getting enough people to keep going on stage.
you know what, this show, it was booked in just a couple days. Like, people really were
Sure.
anxious to get on this show, and
I feel like after this weekend in Culture Shock, you know, people are going to want more, and this gives you just another reason to come downtown.
it does.
And hang out down in such a special place.
Exactly. And Vintage Villains is a very special, magical place to me.
Yes.
I think it is for a lot of people. But at the same time, you're going to get to see 20 performers doing 4 minutes. If you like what you see, you can go see their show next week or next
Right.
month or whatever the case may be. So I think it's not only going to be a fun, interactive show, but it gives everyone a nice sampling of the entertainment that's available in this area.
Sure.
And not only that, even if they go up there and you know it's Hiroshima all over again, that doesn't mean they're done either. It means that
Exactly.
just what they did that time was a lead balloon.
Exactly. And you know what? This is the thing. Anyone who gets up on that stage has my respect. And anyone who's booted from that stage at the last show or when we were doing the Gong Show out at Sleepy Creek, they get my praise.
Right.
I verbalize that because it's needed. And you have to say
Sure.
that because you want everyone to, even though it wasn't their night, that doesn't mean that tomorrow won't be.
Right, and it takes a lot just to get on the stage in
Yeah.
the first place. So
Yes.
so kudos to them.
Yes. So when, you know, someone's booted from stage, it's not done in a well, you know, who knows what the audience is thinking, but from my point of view, I want to give everyone a pep talk when that happens because
Sure.
that's very important.
Especially halfway through the show. What
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
thinking.
I may be an angry clown, but I've got a heart of gold.
All right, Ripper, tell us one more time the dates and times and how you get tickets.
Vintage Villains, October 8th, $8 in advance, 10 at the door. You can buy tickets at Vintage Villains. You can get tickets from Ripper the Clown if you see me. Show starts at 8, the doors open at 7. Again, that's October 8th, downtown Danville, Vintage Villains.
That's great. Well, everybody go check it out. Ripper, thank you so much for being
Thank you
here.
guys for
I
having
always
me.
love having you.
Oh, likewise, I love talking to you both.
Yes, and I'm really stoked about the show and can't wait. So
Thank you. Hope to see you both there. I hope to see all of you in the audience out there. I hope to see you there. You got to come and honk my horn.
Yes, come honk the horn. Everybody have a great week, and I will see you on Friday. This is Nicole Miller on 1490 WDAN Newsmakers.